Scott Casey, founder of the Rolling Barrage. I just want to say right off the hop, thank you so much for everything you guys and gals have done. When Vince told me that it was $20,000 you guys raised in 5 weeks, I was stunned. My jaw dropped. I was like, you gotta be kidding me. That's pretty impressive. Because we've had organizations come out and do some charity, fundraising stuff. We haven't even come close to that. So that's a really impressive amount of work put on in such a short amount of time. So thank you so much. If you're wondering, the money that is raised, everything that comes to us, we don't, like I'm the guy with the pointy hat at the top, and I don't take a wage. I don't take any money. Everybody on our team is a volunteer, and that's the way we want to run. It's going to stay that way. Nobody's going to get paid because the money that we raise goes to the troops. I mean, we have our administration costs, but you can almost bank on 97% of our funds go right back out to the troops. So all the organizations that we donate funds to, we've strictly vetted ourselves to make sure that they're not fly-by-nighters or any of that stuff. Where the money goes is right to the boys and girls who serve, whether they're veterans or first responders. That doesn't matter. The money goes right to them. So in Alberta here, a lot of our funds go to Can Praxis, which is an equine therapy organization. That's where a brunt of it goes every year. And so when we raise money, it stays in the province. And I can't say all 20,000 that you guys have donated will stay here in Alberta initially, but over the years, it's just going to keep compounding here. So in the end, it'll all come back. So, and that's the same for all the other provinces as well. We're trying to have an organization, at least one in every province that we can donate to.
We don't have that now?
No, we don't yet. No, but it's coming. So yeah, like there's nothing in Prince Edward Island because there just isn't.
We can now and in the future tell you how much money came from each province, if you want that information.
Yeah, if you want to break that up, that'll help us too, right? Because then we can divvy it out appropriately, because that's what we're all about, is transparency and doing the right thing. There are so many veteran organizations out there that don't do that. And there's lots of good ones, and we want to stay at the top in that regard. Transparency. So thank you so much again, it's awesome. And more so than the funding that you guys have raised, it'd be really cool to see you all come out. That would be
on your ride.
On our ride, yeah, absolutely.
Which is
the Rolling Barrage.
Which date?
Which date? Oh, let's see. I see what you want. Okay, so this year coming, 2026 is our 10th annual. So it's going to be big. We're actually looking at 100 full pullers. And a full puller is somebody that starts in Newfoundland or in North Sydney and rides right across to Alden Road, BC. Nice. So you do the full pull is what we call it. So right now we're slated to have 100 full pullers. There's 30 coming up out of the US that are going to come up and support, and we're looking at easy 70 here in Canada. And if we have more than that, so be it. It's all organized. You don't have to think. I mean, you have to obviously think while you're on your bike, but we block book hotels. We have meals put on. Like, we've organized everything. Fuel stops. A lot of the fuel stops are actually donated now. So imagine riding across Canada 9,000 kilometers and only having to pay for maybe 5 or 6 fuel stops.
So what day do you depart?
Okay, so you have to be in St. John's or in North Sydney in the last few days of July to get all your briefings, safety briefing, all that kind of stuff, so you know exactly what's going on. And then they actually depart St. John's on August 1st this year. And we'll ride right until August 23rd. So if you're quick enough on the draw, and Vince and I have already been talking about a couple other options possibly, but Big Freight Systems has donated a 53-foot dry van to us. They've deckled it with the Rolling Barrage, and it's a rolling billboard that goes across Canada and the US all year long. But they've donated that for the use from Victoria all the way to Sault Ste. Marie, and anybody that up to 12 bikes, if they get their name put in, they get their truck or their bike put on the truck, and it gets shipped to Newfoundland or North Sydney, whichever you prefer. Not everybody wants to get on a boat and do both trips off the rock, and that's why we have the North Sydney option open there, so you can still do it without having to get on the water. Because I joined the Army, and not the Navy for a reason. So you know, there's that option where we can get 12 bikes shipped out, and we're trying to work on something so we can get more bikes shipped out east to reduce that cost too, right? So those 12 bikes that go on big freight systems is donated. You don't have to pay for that. So that's one of the things we've worked very hard in our relationships with all these companies to provide for us, the troops. And if you're a civilian, you can benefit from it as well. So I'd love to see more IMRG participants, absolutely. We've sold 50 bikes, 50 Indian bikes we've sold through the barrage just by knowing us. And you know, my bike I've had for, well, since 2018, and I have 189,000 kilometers on it now. This year I rode 13,000 kilometers. Last year I rode 75,000.
Wow.
Just to be clear, that is me.
Yeah. Yeah. Indian Roadmaster, yeah, absolutely. So I bought it in Saskatoon and I haven't put it down since, so, and it rides every month of the year. So.
I got a few more stats for you on this particular fundraising that we gave. There was 10 chapters across Canada that participated out of the 15 that we have in Canada. That was over a 5-week period before the ride in September of this year. We raised a total funds for the Rolling Garage of $20,096. Out of that, Marcel Gendron came in first place for raising from Chapter 2020 of Langley at $2,710. He is going to be the recipient of the first place prize for Canada, which will be 3 days and 4 nights, all expenses paid trip for 2 people to the auction that the winner of the Folds of Honor National Charity Ride in the US, they're going to auction off a bike down there, and they're going to be able to get to go down there and watch that auction. Now, because of Marcel and who he has donated that back, and will be raffling that off to give more money back to the Rolling Barrage. He's just waiting for the information of dates and place for the auction so that he can put that in with the raffle. It would be nice to know. Now, again, in second place, who raised funds across Canada here was Ian Peddle from Chapter 2056, Blue Nose. He raised $2,646, and he is the recipient of a custom painted helmet that he will be receiving if he hasn't already received. And I think that's pretty cool that we had first and second place from both sides of the country.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that's really good, and like I said, we can definitely narrow it down to which province it came from, the money, and we can definitely make sure, and I'm sure that would be good to tell to the IMRG chapters raising the money. I'm sure they would love to hear that. And next year's NCR ride, National Charity Ride for Canada, will be September 19th, 2026. It's after the Rolling Barrage ride, but we will hopefully be able to use more time next year to raise more funds for this valued cause. So
That's amazing. Thank you.
thank you.
Yeah,
It's just a start, Scott. Just the start.
it's a good thing.
Yeah.
It's a good relationship to build.
And thanks to all of you guys for all the work you do, because honestly, you guys are the people doing right out in the trenches, doing the work. So, and
It's like I tell everybody on the barrage, I can organize everything under the sun, but if you don't show up, it doesn't happen. So it's up to you. You're the reason all of this stuff happens. So very appreciated. Thank you.
Scott has a little bit of a story with his banner that he brought.
So this is our banner for the barrage, and this one here actually flew over Canada in Canada. I just received this in the mail a week ago. So this one actually flew over Afghanistan. It's got a very big piece of sentimental history to me. I never served in Afghanistan, but a lot of the people that work with us on the ride with us did. So you'll meet all kinds of folks on the ride. So it's not just about PTSD, it's about community. And it's been just building like wildfire. So we love it. So come on out, seriously.
Coast to coast, and it's
Well, you can ride for a day, you can ride for an hour,
Yeah.
whatever you want to do. Like there's no rules in that regard. We prefer that you ride as far as you're comfortable with do it. So, yeah. Safety's the big premium on the ride.
And our CMP led across.
Yeah, RCMP and we have a full police escort because there's other entities that escort us as well. Like Newfoundland is the constabulary, right? So, and we just keep going across. Alberta's the sheriffs. But, yeah, so it's like I say, very organized and it's safe. I've had people that have come and said, you know, I've done 100 different group rides over my lifetime, and this is the most organized, safe ride I've done. It's not to say that stuff doesn't happen in the parking lots, people duck walking and everything while they're riding, but yeah, stuff does happen. But it's a very safe ride. So, and knock on wood, we've gone 9 years without an accident or an injury on the ride. So,
Awesome.